Yeah.
thinking.
All
Don't
right,
do that.
people can see in heroes now.
I do want to say that speaking of like Zelda likes and whatnot, I was very proud of the title for the folder and the drive for the music.
I like, we established it as a good bit.
Oh, I should have used that as the episode title. Oh well.
On it immediately.
What did I title this one? Oh, Memories of Zelda. That's a lame title.
It is lame.
But
Wow. You got to workshop that stuff with us.
Yeah. Chat says you're glowing, John.
Yeah, sorry. I've been getting a weird audio thing going lately. Thankfully I've been using the recording of the call to just edit the episode. For some reason, my microphone is coming through real loud, like those fucking VGM Fight Club promos we cut. I'm loud.
I think they just mean that you look really beautiful today, like you're glowing.
Yeah, it wasn't me checking the dials on my microphone at all.
Oh, okay.
At least I hope that's not what it was. But yeah, maybe did my pickup pattern change? Did I change that? No, right where it always is. Oh, who knows?
Yeah.
Why did I look right into that?
That's a horrible idea.
Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna. Spaghetti.
Who's ready for a countdown?
I'm not actually. Now I'm all fucking disoriented. With a single sip of beer, I can fucking shine a flashlight in my eyes.
Yeah, you're all fucked up.
I'm telling you, man, that beer, that first sip.
You might need to lie down for a minute. Let's get those bearings.
Yeah, the first sip of the first beer is always the best. The first sip of the seventh beer is usually not a great idea.
Well, that's what you get. That's what you get for buying 7-packs, Johnny.
See, I disagree, but that's usually because after the fifth one, I stop tasting anything that goes into my mouth. So
I did make a mistake though. I've been buying summery
That's what she said.
I keep forgetting the grapefruit is not necessarily a good flavor for like a beer.
Yeah, every time I've tried like grapefruit flavored beers, I'm like, why? No.
It seems like it's going to be crisp and refreshing, and then you remember it's like, no, I'm thinking of like tangerine or something. Grapefruit, like a ruby red grapefruit flavored beer, not so great.
Now, a grapefruit crush is amazing. Those are
Yes,
awesome.
I bet that's delish.
Yeah.
Something about a grapefruit IPA. Like, I'm going to drink this and it's going to be fine, but it's that first sip, I was like, oh, that's not refreshing as I hoped.
That's pretty much every time I get a beer that I don't like, that's my whole reaction. They're just like, oh, this is awful. I'm going to finish it, but I'm not going to be pleased about it.
Right.
Man, I've never seen the Discord chat this busy before we start. This is awesome.
Showing up, huh?
Yeah.
Good for them, man.
Here.
It's tuna time.
That's right. All right, I think I'm pretty much ready. Oh, excuse me.
You know, I was wondering. We went to California Pizza Kitchen tonight because they're doing a fundraiser for like elephants, and
He said he was ready.
Elephants
Johnny.
eat pizza?
well, and I was wondering in California, do you think they just call it Pizza Kitchen?
Yeah.
Johnny, start the countdown.
I'm honestly asking. I thought California Pizza Kitchen was a brand of frozen pizza. It's a place?
Yeah, it's a chain. I learned that today too. I was like, they exist outside the freezer section of my grocery store? What the hell?
Yeah. Huh.
I learned the same thing about Home Run Inn. They're like, oh yeah, I love Home Run Inn frozen pizzas. They're not as good as when you go to the restaurant. It's like, wait. The restaurant?
Are all frozen pizzas actually from restaurants? Like, is there a Totino's shop that I'm not aware of?
Oh my God. I
Yeah,
hope
party
so.
pizza.
Oh, dude.
I would so patronize like a Totino's.
Oh my God, Totino's at 3 a.m. Beautiful.
One of
I
these
love
days,
those
I'm going to have to go up
party
to
pizzas.
Madison and Wisconsin and stop at the Red Baron.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
Sorry,
just picturing like
Tombstone?
Totino's being like as shitty as Buffalo Wild Wings, and they just keep on bringing out endless party pizzas. Like, oh,
Yeah.
this is a place of depression. This is bad. sad place. Totino's Wild Wings.
They have one Daytona USA cabinet.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I'm there.
All right.
Crank it.
Okay, John's ready. Jesse, you ready?
Yes.
David, you ready?
I am looking for a GIF, but otherwise, yes.
All right.
Okay, there we go.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Welcome to Game That Tune.
Oh, yeah. What is going on, everybody? It's Game That Tune, and we are back in the house once again. It's ya boy, John Harrington here, and we've got John Regan with us. Say hey.
Hey.
We've got Jesse Moore. Say hey.
Hey.
And we've got David Fleming. Say hey.
Dave's not. I mean, hey.
Yeah, fucking hey, David. Drink some water, okay? You know, the weed show was 2 episodes ago.
Wait.
Wait. Yeah, no, wait. The weed
John,
team was-
you need to
it
drink
was-
some water, man.
It was 2 recordings ago,
It was-
1 episode ago.
Thank you. That's where my brain. That's where the disconnect was. It was it was a movie commentary and an episode ago. Either way, David, you should not still
Wait,
be stoned.
we did an episode last week?
See, and that is more in line with the bits. Jesse, he blacked out the whole thing. He went down to Miami. He got that weird like chemical spice weed, and just like he doesn't remember anything that happened.
Someone said I almost died.
Yeah, it was crazy, man.
Yeah.
But
Fuck.
that was last week's episode. This is this week's episode. Welcome back to Game That Tune, everybody. It's the video game music guessing game show where we each brought 3 songs from a game. We're going to try and guess each other's games based on the songs, a little bit of trivia. We goof off, we have a lot of fun, and the winner at the end of the night picks the theme for next week and plays some bonus tunes. And despite blacking out, our winner last week was Jesse Moore. And Jesse, I'm sure you can recall the theme that you selected for this week's episode.
No, I have literally no idea.
Oh, crap.
Oh,
Well, let's
but
see if we can
there's-
jog your memory.
there's a notepad here on my desktop. I wrote a bunch of stuff. Cool. Okay,
Oh.
it says
Only read the last part.
okay. Oh, the last part it says David has a giant schlong.
It's important
So-
that we read that part often.
Well, that was the last part, and John told me to read the last part.
Okay.
But before that, it says games that remind you of Zelda games.
Yes, there it is.
Okay.
That's the theme.
Oh,
Game-
that explains why the music I picked.
that explains why you printed up
It-
that giant image of Zelda's butt and just framed it. You've had it sitting next to your bedrooms, for the last week or so. We get it, Jesse. Yeah, there are many things that remind you of the Legend of Zelda, and man, this theme, it's going to be interesting. I'm curious to see what it is that reminds everybody of the Legend of Zelda. Is it princesses? Is it, I don't know, kingdoms, magic, adventure, green outfits? There's so many ways that a game could remind you.
Oh, I could have picked Madden because of like the Seahawks.
Yeah, those hideous green Seahawk uniforms.
I was just about to say, was it as open as this game has a princess, therefore it's Zelda-like?
Yes.
Fuck.
Games that remind you of Zelda. It could be literally you just have there could be a pointy-eared character. You'd be like, oh, there you go, got it. You could have just chosen Super Smash Brothers. There's a few stages there, but yeah, it's a wide open theme, baby. It's gonna be interesting. I like I said, I'm curious to see what it is that we all think of when we think Legend of Zelda. We've got some great games. We've got 5 fantastic games. We've got a great fan request. And really, Johnny, I think we just got to jump right into it. So slowly open up that treasure chest and look at the glow that's coming out, and then dive inside a little bit and pull out game 1 and hold it over your head.
God, I wish I had that sound effect.
Yeah.
Well, you have to make it with your mouth.
Do it. Yeah.
That's what she said.
That's better than I expected that you were going to do. Well done. Okay,
All right.
that's worse.
Now Bismarcky's starting to turn in his grave, Johnny.
Oh
So
my god.
maybe just play something from the soundboard and start game 1.
Game 1.
right, guys. So this game and its sequel are two of the only, or actually, sorry, they are the only two games made as console exclusives for a Nintendo console by this remarkably successful video game developer. And it just ends like that. How you guys feeling?
I'm feeling pretty good.
Yeah,
So
real
good, man.
real good.
Real good?
Yeah.
No.
Legendarily good?
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh, Johnny, he's got quite an answer. He says Zelda. Sadly, in this case, incorrect. Jesse has Metroid with a sword and a shield. Also, sadly incorrect. And David says Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles, a GameCube exclusive. Sadly incorrect. No, sadly, it's that other GameCube exclusive that reminds people of The Legend of Zelda, David.
Oh fuck! Is it Bacon Ketos?
No.
Oh,
Okay.
God, that doesn't.
That, good pull. I
What a
yeah. What that was. No, this is a game called Lost Kingdoms for the GameCube.
Oh,
Oh,
Yeah. Lost-
okay.
Isn't that a card game?
What?
Am I thinking of the card game Lost?
Is it
I
a
think
card game? No, it's a Zelda-like adventure game. You play as Princess Katia, and you explore a world that's being covered by a dark fog, looking for your father, the king.
Jesse, what you're thinking of is Magic the Gathering.
Yes.
No. There's a
It was a GameCube game. I thought that came out on the Super Nintendo
No.
by Blizzard.
No, that's Lost Vikings.
Lost Viking.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's also not the Lost Levels before Johnny tries to make that joke. No, it's Lost Kingdoms for the GameCube, developed, of course, by From Software. Maybe people who played games in the last 10 years or so have heard of them.
Ooh, I know them.
Yeah, maybe people are still playing one of those
Yeah,
games.
this is like a card game.
What? No, it's
Yeah.
a Zelda adventure game for the GameCube where you're playing as a princess and you have a magic rune stone and you have to fight monsters and explore a kingdom with fields and temples, and eventually you fight a god of destruction. I didn't do much research into this, to be quite honest. I kind of picked it last minute. I was kind of just looking through I searched for adventure games and just kind of started going from there. And I was like, oh, From Software made a Zelda game for the GameCube. And I went from there because people like Elden Ring, people like Dark Souls, that series. Figure we could talk for a brief second about From Software. Does anybody find it odd that From Software doesn't make games for Nintendo systems?
That's not true. They recently did I think a Dark Souls remaster they put on Switch. I think.
Yes. So they made a port of Dark Souls that came out in 2011 for the Switch in 2018. Before that, From Software released a Monster Hunter cartoon spin-off game on the PSP and 3DS. And before that, they released 2 games that don't have clickable Wikipedia links for the DS, and they released the 2 Lost Kingdoms games for the GameCube. And that is the extent to which From Software has made games with Nintendo. I don't understand why these companies don't have a relationship.
I have nothing to say about the relationship. I was only looking up information about this game and its sequel, and I wanted to bring this up because I just discovered that the sequel stars a young princess who appears to have resting bitch face and whose name is Tara Grimface. It's like, that's a little on the nose.
Okay, I'm kind of into that.
Yeah.
So
I like a grim face.
it looks like a lot of the game, like the battles, are done using like cards, and like you can capture monsters to make more cards, or you can buy more cards, and so you use cards to like do the battles.
Oh no, really?
Yeah.
Fuck, man! I thought it said real. It says battles.
Well, yeah, they're in real time, but you're like in real time playing the cards.
Fuck, there it is. Card based. God. Oh man. That blows the whole thing for me. What the hell? I thought this was a Zelda like, not a fucking Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories like. What the? Using elemental cards. It's an element. It's Pokemon.
Yeah, pretty much, because you're capturing monsters into cards, and
you're still adventuring with a young princess, so it's still a Zelda-like according to the theme.
That was the thing, but by all the trappings of looking at it, it reminded me of Zelda. But now that I'm learning about this, now I'm kind of, man, I thought we had a forgotten like Zelda-like classic from Software here. Instead, we got this fucking weird card sequel. No, I'm glad they didn't fucking make any more of these. But that still begs the question of why From Software put this weird card fighting game out for Nintendo and never did anything else with them. I don't understand why those companies don't have a working relationship.
I could understand why they did this if it came out on the DS or the Wii, because so many people bought those consoles like you could throw anything out and try to make a buck. But the fact that it came out on the GameCube, that's surprising.
Yeah, and it's like an early GameCube game. That's the thing. This is really also it's a slight future GTT Gems tie-in. It came out May of 2002. It was just a few months after launch. Like I think From Software probably thought they had something here, and then they put out a sequel, and then they just stopped making things for Nintendo systems. I don't get it. I'm kind of pissed off, man. This I was already on the fence about this pick, and that's the thing. Honestly, card battle games piss me the fuck off. And I don't know if you guys noticed when we were listening to that music, it's not very good. Soundtrack,
fine.
It was excellent. It was a little bland, a little repetitive, and that last song was a fucking mess. Fuck me, man.
Yeah, this is a baffling pick. It feels like I'm sure you got stuff going on right now or something.
I have a lot going on, and to be honest, as I was preparing for this episode, I realized something. I don't play games that remind me of Zelda. I play Zelda games, and the games that I have played that do remind me of Zelda, I've realized I used almost every one of them for the show already. It's it's late in the game, man. But I don't stand by this pick. I retract this pick. Johnny, fucking let's keep it going. I'll figure something out for the end of the show. Fuck this game.
Game 2.
Let's get a new game.
So, much of the gameplay footage used in early trailers did not actually make it into the final game. This includes footage of a section in which the main character boards and controls an ancient mini mech and uses its lasers to blast open a door, as well as a section in which the main character seems to be a portion of the labs from the area of the map, and one of the large creatures contained there tries to punch its way out. I have an additional piece of trivia if anyone would like it.
Sure.
Yeah.
Hey, sure.
So, the main character in this game was set to appear in a special side quest in Shantae Half Genie Hero, while Risky Boots was going to appear in a special side quest in this game. Very sadly, this did not come to pass.
Thanks, David. Oh my god.
Let's
extra
see some answers. John Regan says Zelda 2, sadly incorrect. Jesse says Tetris with an L block. Oh, I get it. It's a link block with a hat, sword, and shield. Sadly incorrect. John Harrington has the correct answer. This is Hyper Light Drifter.
Oh, I've
Yeah.
played that.
Baby.
Okay, so Jesse has played it. John, have either of you played this?
No.
I thought it was a space game based on the name.
No.
Huh.
So I believe it was the director of the game, or maybe like the lead programmer. One of the higher ups involved in this game described it as a Link to the Past cross Diablo.
Interesting.
So it's pretty much it's a very atmospheric, moody game. It's kind of hard, but it's enjoyable. It has that same like top-down perspective, and you star as this character named the Drifter who has amnesia, and he can sort of dash and use a sword, and he has a gun. And that's pretty much all he's got. And you're just kind of dropped into this world and you have to like explore and find your way around it. So it's very Zelda 1 esque, where you're just plopped down and it's like, okay, here's a sword, go.
Cool.
It has that like very indie game like pixel art style. I really like the look of the game, especially because the Drifter, he doesn't have like a normal sword. It's, I don't want to say a lightsaber, but for lack of a better term, it kind of looks like a lightsaber because it's got this like glowing blue trail effect.
Beam.
Like a hyper light.
Yeah, almost.
Mhm.
And the combat can be very hard and challenging, but it's fun because, like I said, you have your sword and you have a gun. So you've got close-up attacks and range attacks, but you get ammo for your gun by using your sword. So, like, you'll get in close with your sword, do some combos, build up ammo for your gun, and then back off and use that to shoot. So there's a lot of strategy in the combat for this game.
Yeah, it seems like companies, especially indie companies that want to make games that remind people of Zelda, have gotten pretty good at balancing these things and making games with slightly more challenging and like rewarding combat. Like I love Zelda games, don't get me wrong, but the combat has never been the deepest thing about the Zelda series. Like even with like once you add in like the Z targeting and then eventually like parry attacks and things, combat's really not the big thing in a Zelda game. Like it's what drives the action, don't get me wrong, but it's not like I don't know, perfectly timed dodges and upgrading moves. Like Twilight Princess got pretty good with that, adding new stuff in and progressing the game like that. But combat in Zelda games is not necessarily what I would call their strongest suit.
Yeah, I definitely think they hit their high point with like Twilight Princess Skyward Sword, but
Yeah.
like A Link to the Past, you're basically just swinging a sword in front of you and that's it.
Well, now hold on, David. Actually, Link to the Past, if you're smart like me, you're doing multiple things. You're either swinging a sword in front of you, or you're charging up with the running boots and running through the entire environment and just running motherfuckers over, or you're keeping that spin attack constantly charged so you can just poke people in the front so you don't even have to swing your sword. You can poke them, or you can hit them with the spin attack. It's deep combat, David, this Link to the Past combat.
I like how you just spent that entire bit talking about how combat was never the strong suit and then discussing the strong suit of Link to the Past combat.
Sarcastically, of course, David. It's,
Okay. Okay.
Quite simple. You're talking a run, a poke, a slash, or a spin attack, and they're all interchangeable. So there's no reward for using any of them correctly.
But no, it's a fun game. Like I said, it's a little on the challenging side, and I'm kind of sad because they have announced a sequel, Hyper Light Breaker. And I was like, oh hell yeah, I'm excited for this. It's going to be like a 3D game instead of the like flat pixel art graphics. It's like, okay, I'm into this. And then they announced it was going to be a roguelike. I was like,
That's that other thing that indie developers have kind of keyed in on. You can miss me with that.
Which, I just want to officially state it for the record. If you're a huge fan of roguelikes, more power to you. I'm glad that you have that genre that you enjoy. I personally do not. So,
I would like everybody in our chat right now to state whether or not you are a big fan of roguelikes, and if you are, please leave. You're
Whoa!
You
go.
Go ahead and say we're anti roguelike. We're doing Zelda likes tonight, not roguelikes. Yeah,
but
I
I feel like Hyper Light Drifter was one of those indie games that kind of caught on because the Drifter himself has actually made cameo appearances. He was a playable character in Runbow, and I can't remember the name of it. It's not Rivals of Ether, but one of the like indie Smash Brothers type games. He appeared in that game. They included him. And I remember seeing the trailer. I was like, oh, the Drifter's in this fighting game. That's awesome. And then I was watching him play. I was like, oh, it's Marth. It's exactly Marth. Like he has the same side move. He has the same up move. It's like, it's Marth. Okay, that fits.
Yeah, sword character in a fighting game. How novel. Man. I'm glad they are making more of this, though. I mean, I like seeing indie games get sequels. Yeah, I'm always happy to see something get supported enough to be ongoing. Yeah, so I don't know. I would say, I don't think I'll check out the sequel, but I have to check out this one first. I remember how I fucking recall these tunes. This was in our best of 2016 mixtape. I think it was the first end of year mixtape we ever did on this show, and I was just like Googling 2016 games and taking in a lot of music, and it's a good kind of slow ambient kind of vaporwave soundtrack. So that's where I remembered hearing it from. It's I like the vibe.
It's one of those things where it's like when you're in the game, you're exploring, you're dodging and attacking enemies. Like hearing that music is great, but when you listen to it on its own, it's like, I feel like this lacks something. Like there should really be an interactive element to this.
It's good lo-fi fucking beats to study to for sure. Like it's a whole mood. It's great.
It's definitely an ambient soundtrack.
Yes, good for that.
And yeah, I like this game, and I'm glad that they are making a sequel, even if it's not my cup of tea, because the Drifter's cool. He's got that like post-apocalyptic cloak with the giant glowy sword. Like it's a cool design.
Yeah, you love to see it. Love a good cloak. David, list off your top 3 cloaks in games.
Well, there is the name that I can't think of off the top of my head, but there's the cloak in Link to the Past that gives you like, doesn't it give you like invulnerability?
Yeah, it's an invisibility/invincibility cloak. Very handy item later on in Link to the Past. Cool. That's all 3, huh?
I feel like there's probably some Marvel game where you can play as Cloak and Dagger, so that's going on there. And then for number 3, I'm gonna go with the cloak that Zelda wears in Twilight Princess.
That's actually a great pick because when you first see Zelda wearing the hell out of that cloak, it sets the whole mood for that game.
Well, it was so weird because you see Princess Zelda in the official art and everything, and she looks so regal in stature, and then you get into the game and she's just shrouded in black. Like, oh, fuck. I feel like something has happened.
Yeah.
Is she going to a funeral?
Guys that make Zelda played Kingdom Hearts. This is going bad. Look at that.
Oh, God, I should have gone with King Mickey's cloak.
Yeah, there's a lot of cloaks in Kingdom Hearts, David. It's okay, though. I put you on the spot. So, dope pick, man. I'm surprised we haven't used this before. Good.
So was I, and I was pleasantly surprised because it means I got to use it.
Fuck yeah. Anything else then on Hyper Light Drifter before we move on?
No, it's a fun game. It's been around for a while. If you haven't checked it out yet, definitely check it out now.
Hell yeah, man. Great pick.
John, have you found before we move on, have you found a new game yet?
No, I'm still looking.
Right.
It's proving harder than even finding this original game was. But I got, don't worry, I got it.
Okay.
Game 3.
All right. Let's see. This game from the game omits to mention that you can pick up and throw random boxes in addition to puzzle critical orbs. Yeah, they just never tell you. And then I had no idea also. I'm playing like 10 hours into this game and I get close to a box and I'm like, I can pick these up? Shit. I think it's over.
I just want to clarify, Jesse, is this your game or is this the fan request?
This is my game.
Okay.
Thought I had it there for a second in the last song, but the piano finish kind of threw me for a loop. So now I'm not.
Yeah. It'll get you.
Yeah.
Let's see what we got. Johnny says Zelda 3 or Zelda X3, which I think is like a Mega Man X game. David says Tunic, incorrect. And John is close with F-Zero GP Legend.
Legend.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Jesse, before you reveal what the game is, I just want to ask, games that remind you of Zelda, how the fuck is F-Zero GP Legend close?
Legend.
Yeah, Legend's in the title.
It's right there.
Yeah,
Legend.
the Legend of F-Zero GP.
Yeah. The Captain Falcon Legend.
God, I would love a Zelda type game where it's just like
Or Captain Falcon.
See, I would like the reverse. I would like an F-Zero game where it's Zelda. You're just like racing on horseback
what
at 2,000 kilometers an hour.
Yeah. Okay, Jesse, what game did we just listen to before we
Oh,
start
yeah.
going off on tangents?
This is Unsighted. Yeah, it's came out I think, last year. And it's really good, guys. It's a little like top-down action RPG type game. Really cool like art style. I really think this is like a David game. You play as like an automaton and you don't remember anything and you're like slowly trying to figure out what's going on. And in this particular world, automatons are like robots that have, sentience and they can like think on their own and do whatever and just be cool. But they're running out of time that they can be like that. And so like if they run out of time, they become unsighted, which just makes them like robots that go crazy and kill people and stuff.
Also dope.
And so like there's like this meteor that had crashed on Earth, and the stuff in the meteor helps the automatons continue being, you know, cool and stuff. And so while you're playing this game, when you talk to like different robots and stuff, it'll say how much time they have left. And so when you find this stuff, you can give it to certain people, or you cannot give it to people. And like, you know, maybe you want to upgrade yourself more, and you end up like the shopkeeper ends up going unsighted, and then you have to kill him, and because he tries to kill people, and then you don't have a shopkeeper.
Oh.
So you got to kind of make choices and stuff. There's a lot of puzzles like to get to different places involving like switches and using like your sub weapons. It's, you know, very Zelda like in that way. The combat though does remind me a little bit of Souls in a way, because there's a lot of emphasis on parrying, which when you start pulling it off, it looks really sharp. Like it'll like there are these big robot beetle looking things that you'll fight, and like if they try to jump on you and you parry them just right, it goes all like slow mo and it says perfect in like green letters, and like the beetle like falls on its back, and then your next attack is an automatic critical. And it's like the combat is real smooth and fun. You can parry like projectiles, and it's pretty challenging. There's a lot of good puzzles so far. You can definitely see like Zelda DNA in there, and even with like the time element is, it's kind of like Majora Masky in a way. Like you have a time limit to do stuff, and you know, except when people, you know, run out of time in this game, it's for fucking good. So
That's pretty serious. I kind of like it. I'm looking at the images of it now, and yeah, the art style is really dope.
I was just gonna say, it's like it seems that the main character is a white-haired, dark-skinned robot in thigh highs with a sword and a gun.
Yeah.
And I don't want to say I'm an easy mark, but this does definitely look like a game for me.
like I said, it was a fucking David game.
That's a lot of boxes to tick.
Jesse, if you want to go on Twitter and just kind of start replying to Jade Cargill tweets with screenshots from this game and see if you can get her to cosplay as
Oh man, that'd be badass.
my word, I'd be into that. But there's also this other character in here. So I'm looking at some of these images, and like some of the seemingly more like promotional stuff, it's the white-haired robot kind of being held by this other like more like crimson female robot.
Oh, I think that's her girlfriend.
Yeah, and in the action, it looks like the crimson robot is holding a very large axe.
Yeah, she has a really big axe. It's
Ooh,
cool.
baby, I'm into that.
It does kind of remind me just a tiny bit of that famous picture of the tall redhead holding the smaller woman
Yes,
by the neck.
So,
This is a David game.
I was looking at the picture of what I assume is the main character, and then I found like a group shot of multiple characters, and I see the woman with the giant axe. I also see a woman with a giant wrench, presumably as a weapon, and also it looks like there's a corgi. How have I not played this game?
Yeah.
There's a robot with a pet store, and you have to like go find dogs for him to sell to people.
Yeah, this is a David game.
Yeah, this is me all over.
Oh, wait. Like are you like starting a puppy mill in this game? What do you mean you got to find dogs for this guy to sell?
No, just
that's concerning.
They're robots.
Robot puppy mill, not as severe as living puppy.
Yeah.
Still a little upsetting. But not as upsetting. Jeez. Johnny always finding the bright side. But yeah, no, this looks really cool, man. I dig the style. It looks like every place I'm reading about it's describing it says it's a Metroidvania. Is there side-scrolling parts to it, or are they just saying that like you unlock areas, items you get later on in the game, that kind of thing?
The thing that reminds me of a Metroidvania is the map.
Okay.
Like how the map fills out is very Metroidvania-esque. But like solving the puzzles and stuff reminds me of Zelda. Like I'm pushing blocks around. I'm, hitting switches. I'm, defeating a certain amount of enemies to open up a chest. Like, this is a lot of Zelda-esque stuff to it.
Yeah, and now that I think about it, that's a really good idea. Just how to make a game seem like Zelda: blocks and switches. That's easy comparison there.
But like in this game, there's the combat is a little deeper too, so you have that going for it. Because like you can have like a ranged weapon and a melee weapon. You could have 2 melee weapons, 2 ranged weapons. Like currently, I have a katana blade and a giant shuriken. Because the shuriken you can like control it, which is really good for like hitting switches around corners and stuff. But I did recently craft a grenade launcher, and that's where I thought to myself, man, isn't like a good thwomp sound from a grenade launcher.
My man, that's exactly what I'm saying. Like, that's a satisfying sound effect.
Yeah.
That's part of the only reason that, like, playing with them in fucking, GoldenEye was fun.
Yep.
That telltale thump. You're getting fucked up when you hear that come from somebody else's screen.
Yeah. But this has a very good thwomp sound.
I just want to say, as somebody who literally got a degree in audio broadcasting, hearing everybody talk about how important sound effects are just makes me so happy.
They're important. Like,
David got a degree in audio with a minor in thwomp. So for all of us to be here now discussing,
there it is.
Yes,
God,
exactly.
Man, you guys talk about how important sound effects are. Reminds me.
Space! How absurd!
Oh man! Oh.
I like to imagine
hot take.
Johnny just pushed his forearm onto his keyboard.
Yeah. My goodness. Can we get a grenade launching thwomp sound added to the soundboard?
Game over!
Sorry, I hit G for grenade. I forgot G's for game over.
Right. You really should label those keys better. You would have remembered if you had put a good thwomp sound on the soundboard before now. But man, yeah. Jesse, this game looks fucking dope.
It's really good.
I'm mostly saying that to pitch it to David. David, this game looks fucking dope, man. You got to get this
Yeah,
game.
it does.
Yeah. It's man, it ticks a lot of boxes. I mean, robots, lesbians, thwomp. Like,
you can like make stuff. Like, there's crafting. There's a thing you equip little like chips into your programming to
David loves
do like
chips.
more damage or certain effects over time. There's also these things called cogs that like give you more defense and attack. It's really, really fun.
You sold me on redhead with a giant axe. Like, I'm good. You don't have to stop talking.
Yeah. You're undoing the sell of the game at this point. Keep it simple, baby. As soon as you show David a sexy redhead wielding a giant axe, he pretty much goes to the eShop. We know how this thing goes.
It is on Switch.
Is it? Would you say, Jesse, perfect?
It's definitely perfect for Switch.
Really? Yeah, I feel like we haven't said that in quite some time. Ever since you became such a staunch game passer.
I still play my Switch though.
I know, but I feel like we've been neglecting to say when a game is perfect for Switch. We've been stumping for Game Pass for so long that we've forgotten to remind people that many games are perfect for Switch. It's good. It's good to get back in that groove, man.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Like a good Zelda game. Perfect for Switch. Anyway, I think Jesse, is there anything else? David?
No, I was just gonna say before we move on, I kind of had the song stuck in my head. Johnny, can you do the Pepsi Man sound one more time?
Pepsi Man!
Thank you.
That'll jar something loose.
Before we move on, one thing.
Friends.
John, what's the status of that new game, man?
I'm almost there.
You gotta get this fucking new game, man.
That's what she said.
It's okay, man. I got it. The fucking this game
right.
jarred something loose. I got ideas. Trust me. It's all coming together. Uploading soon.
Oh,
damn it!
a little bit of the bubbly.
I like that one.
Game 4.
That's a forgotten sound effect.
This is our fan request. All right. This 2022 release was made by one guy, and he said that this game was inspired by certain classic triangle seeking games. And within the game, you find pages of instruction manuals in which the art is heavily inspired by the instruction booklets of classic NES games. Huh.
Oh shit! Sorry.
Well,
Turn off the thing.
it appears some of those weird hands have grabbed them and taken them to the beginning of the dungeon. Oh, David's back.
Oh shit, are we up to the answers?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, cool. Shit.
So again, this is our fan request. And you too can request songs in the Discord channel. And that's where a lot of people make requests, and it's real fun.
Remember people used to email us requests? I don't think we've gotten one of those in a long
Yeah.
time. All right.
All right, let's see what we got.
Do it.
Hang on one sec.
Oh. Yeah, I'm sorry, Jesse. I know everybody else already heard it. Who'd the request come from?
Oh, I haven't said it yet, but the request came from Acre, handsome boy of the tunas.
Yes.
Let's see. Johnny has said Zelda DXXX. That is sadly incorrect. David says, I was going to try to win, but I give up. And then there's a penis. That is sadly incorrect. And John says Final Fantasy Pixel Remaster. That is also incorrect. This is Tunic.
Damn it, I remember you talking about this game, so I thought that's what you were bringing to the show, so that's when I guessed it when it was your game.
Oh.
This is like some 6D level chess shit going on.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the only one playing and losing is you.
Well, how because originally I was going to pick Tunic, and that's basically why I was going to do this theme. And then I thought to myself, well, I do like Tunic a lot, but right now I kind of bounced off of it, and I've been really into Unsighted. And so I was like, well, I feel like it represents me more if I pick Unsighted, and, you know, I can channel like Acre's obvious love for this game instead. Because it's an excellent game, I will say.
So basically what you're saying is originally I would have gotten a point, but I didn't get a point.
In a different
Yeah.
universe, yes, David, you were correct.
Yes. So
Not this
if
universe.
Doctor Strange shows up,
Yeah.
the score
Well,
could change.
David, if you want to fix it, you just got to call the Time Variance Authority, okay?
Yeah.
And they'll get you all straightened out.
Wow.
Yeah.
Have you really not watched anything Marvel since Loki? Like, dude, Moon Knight is out now. You got to catch up.
I have been watching that.
Oh, okay.
Good time variances?
What's that, John?
No, I don't know. I haven't seen the newest episode, so
Yeah.
no
Are you
spoilers.
just turning on Johnny for slightly out of date Marvel references? Is that what we're doing now? At the energy you want to bring to the rest of the show, David? Is that what we're gonna fucking do?
Yeah, I'm pissed because I guessed Tunic and I got it right, just not in the right order.
I want to know, quick around the horn. How much Marvel stuff have we all consumed since Endgame? Like all of it?
All of it, yeah.
I have not seen Hawkeye, honestly. I feel
I was
bad
gonna
for
say
it.
I've seen everything except literally the episode of Moon Knight that came out today because I didn't have time before the show.
Same.
Oh, I think I'm 2 Moon Knight episodes behind,
Okay,
but I
cool.
have been watching it.
So it's me that quit the MCU, not the rest of you guys. Good
Oh,
luck.
I haven't seen MCU or the What If either. I've seen one episode of that.
Oh, What If is so much fun.
Yeah.
Sure is.
Um,
You have to watch it before I go see Doctor Strange, or not. Anyway, yeah, we're
Well, we're
talking.
not talking about What If. We're
I
talking about
figure-
what if Tunic was an amazing game. Jesse, is it?
Yeah.
Can you imagine talking What If at this point? I mean, it came out like a few months ago. You fucking loser! You really want to talk about What If still?
Yeah,
I mean,
sure.
to be fair, the What If comics is one of my favorite runs from Marvel. Like, I love that alternate history type thing. But again, Tunic. You're a fox in a green
Yeah.
tunic.
So is Tunic just what if, but if Link was a fox?
No. No, it's definitely it's cool. It starts kind of like Link's Awakening. You wash up on a beach, and then you just go. Like there's no really hand holding in this game at all. It's just go do stuff. Like you can completely miss the sword like right away and have to get a sword later on. You can like completely miss the shield. I didn't have the shield for the longest time, and I've recently found a shield. That's
I totally got my Zelda games mixed up when you're like, oh yeah, it starts off like Link's Awakening, you wake up on a beach. It's like, no, you wake up in a bed with your uncle and it's a stormy night. No, that's Link to the Past. Never mind.
Best memory of yours, David. No,
same thing.
yes, he was right.
And and so like you're this little fox, and as you're playing, like every menu is in a different language. It's like this made up language in the game, so you don't know what the menu says. Like when you pick up items, like it'll give you a description, but the description is in that language, so you have no idea what it means. Like so you just have to like try stuff and see what it does. But as you go through, you find little pages of an instruction booklet, and the instruction booklet like tells you like how to play the game, and like you find like different parts and different like areas and stuff. Like you'll find like a thing that has like a list of what all the items do, like the sword. You find out you're like, oh, there's a gun in this game. That's wild. And so that's pretty cool. And they have like the cool art. Like it reminds me of like the Legend of Zelda art book with all the little like drawings and stuff of Link fighting the moblins and stuff.
Love that.
It's really, really cool looking. The big hook for the game, I would say, is like you have to look every fucking where, nooks and crannies, hug the wall looking for secret areas, because like it's a like an isometric view, but you can't like change the camera. So like you have to like bump around in behind trees and stuff to find all these secrets. It's really like it can be very, very difficult too. And I do like the
Exploration.
Yeah, the exploration of the game. It's just it's like a different kind of exploration. It's more of like like take Elden Ring for example. Like you see a thing over in the distance, and you're like, I want to go see what that is. While this is, I'm gonna walk along the walls and hope I find something. So it's more of like a hidden exploration. Like you might find an entrance to like a dungeon somewhere. Um, and like I said, no one tells you anything in this game. But it's real cute. The combat can be challenging, although there is a thing you can switch off in the settings. So there's like a no fail mode, which honestly at one point I did turn on because I just kept getting killed by all this crap, and I just wanted to find the next area, and I was getting a little frustrated. But it's still a cool game. I think I'll play it some more eventually. I don't think it really meshes well with the other games I've been playing. So I don't
Does
know.
it-
I just go ahead.
I was gonna ask, does it have like an overarching story? Is it like a Zelda game where there's a main villain you're trying to conquest, or you're just kind of dropped in a world and just going?
There is kind of a story, but it's kind of like told in pieces and through like the instruction book and stuff. From what I understand, it gets like wilder and wilder the further you play it. Um, so there's is some a little bit of story, but it is more of a Dewey game. That's where you
Okay.
just go like do stuff and solve puzzles, and it's pretty cool.
It looks fucking amazing.
It looks it's beautiful. It sounds good.
I love
Like it.
foxes.
Yeah, Fox is cool.
Games. I love foxes acting like they're in Zelda games. This looks fascinatingly appealing to me. I haven't really looked into this until now, and kind of think I need to grab this.
It looks straight up adorable.
Yeah, it's very, very charming.
And that's okay. So Jesse, if I, I'm a Zelda guy, but I didn't fully get into the 2019 Switch remake of Link's Awakening. Like I thought it was adorable and it was fun, but it was a little bit slow by modern standards. It's a remake of a Game Boy Zelda game. Is this a little bit more engaging than that? Because it looks just as cute as that.
I would say it is a little more engaging because you're constantly looking for stuff, like little places you can get into.
And I gotta admit, probably the fact that Link's Awakening was a remake was maybe the reason I wasn't fully engaged with it. It's
that too.
So maybe a full new experience where you're playing as an adorable fox doing adorable Zelda shit. Maybe I need to play that because
you will be getting lost a lot.
Love it. In the woods?
In this game. Yes, lots in the woods.
Does it have the Lost Woods mechanic where you enter a foggy set of woods and eventually lose your way over and over again?
I haven't got that part yet. The thing that has been bothering me is like there's no real like fast travel option, right? Like fairly into the game. I know later on you get some kind of way to move around the map, but I seem to like go as far as I can in one area multiple times, and I'm like I still can't figure out if this is where I need to go, and then I have to go all the way back to like the starting place to go another direction. So like there is a little frustration, but of course that could just be on my part and for missing some kind of like easy thing. So but this game, I feel like everyone's play style or play of the game will be a little different because like I said, you could just straight up miss the sword and fight the first boss with a stick instead of a sword. I've heard stuff like that happening. So
I like it. I like it a lot. I like the open-endedness and the freedom. It's fun. It's really fun. We have to check this out, man. Foxes.
Yeah, it's good.
Are there other animals, or is it mostly just foxes? I know you play as the fox, but is there?
Yeah.
Are you talking other little sword and shield holding animals?
I know you fight some frog people.
I was gonna say, is there a villain that's a hound?
Oh no. and you become friends.
I was gonna say, are you friends with the Hound at first, and then they eventually part ways? But they realize that they can't possibly be friends. Are we calling those people villains now, David?
God, how does that movie end? Is it sad?
Poorly.
Yeah.
It's sad because the Fox and the Hound can't be friends, but they go their separate ways. Yes. It ends with the farmer and the Hound hunting the fox and Bambi. But yeah, no, nobody gets killed. The Hound basically tells the fox to fuck off, and they go their separate ways.
I watched
part as friends.
I watched that and Old Yeller like all the time. Which is fucked up. Those
Why
movies
would
are
you
very
do
sad.
that?
I don't know.
That explains
But- and
things.
And the thing is like Old Yeller is so good until like the end, and then the end you're just like, why?
See, that's like somebody saying like, "Oh yeah, Up is my favorite Pixar movie," but after the first 10 minutes, I turn it off.
Yeah, I would like to watch Up again and not watch the first 10 minutes because after that it's a crazy romp.
Yeah, I
know,
still haven't seen it because I heard
what's
the first 10
sad
minutes are just heart wrenching.
Story of a couple that never conceived a child. It's like, well, what are you doing here, Pixar? What is this?
Wait a second. You tell me Up isn't a short? Because I've only seen the first 10 minutes. There's more to that.
I blacked out after that. And there was more
It's
movies.
so sad. I cried myself to sleep.
Fell into a sad coma. Oh God! Some combination of sadness and horniness for Ed Asner just caused me to black out. Next thing I knew, I was recording this podcast.
That describes my day-to-day life.
Mhm. Rest in peace, you sexy king. Jesse, anything else on Tunic? God, would it be better if the fox were voiced by Ed Asner?
No. Yeah, obviously every character
Yes, of
would
course.
be great. But I was
You know,
just
that's-
thinking of like Star Fox crossover, but that's way better.
That's something that we definitely need to get as either a radio stinger or something for the computer sound. Just John's version of like, yeah, God, rest in peace, Ed Asner, you sexy man. Anyway, Jesse, anything more on Tunic?
Sexy King, David. It's
I don't
King.
man, an all-time sex god, Ed Asner.
Famous for sex.
I just made him drip.
dude. You ever see it? You ever see Ed Asner come? It's amazing.
They used to call him Ed Ass.
I think I missed that episode of the Mary Tyler Moore Show.
Yeah, exactly. Oh man. Anyway, fuck yeah, man. Great pick.
I'm
Johnny,
so glad there's going to be Ed Asner tags in this episode.
do you know how many times we've tagged Ed Asner in Game That Tune stuff? It's more than you think.
And he never replies.
Well, for
Well, guess
Exactly.
what?
If I had a nickel for every time we had an Ed Asner tag, I'd have 2 nickels, which isn't a lot, but it's weird that it's happened twice.
You'd
Well,
be surprised.
Before we move on, John, like we're about to start the last game.
No, we're not starting the last game. We're starting your game, and my game's going last. I got it sorted out.
You got it?
Yeah.
All right. All right.
Things have worked out. Everything's good.
I trust you.
It's good.
Game 5.
Nailed it.
right, guys. So this was the first game in the franchise to introduce a multiplayer mode. All right, guys, see your answers.
Johnny.
All right, so Jesse says Legend of Ed Asner, which is sadly incorrect. And David said Four Swords Adventures, which is technically not correct. And John just said Four Swords, which is the most correct. This is...
Tell me you're going to get me on a fucking...
Four Swords Adventures.
Technicality.
Four Swords Adventures is the GameCube game. This is the Game Boy Advance game, Legend of Zelda Four Swords, included with the Link to the Past remake.
If we're going to be technical, Four Swords is not a standalone game. It was an included mode in Link to the Past on Game Boy Advance. So technically, you didn't pick a game. You picked a mode. That would be like saying my game is Mega Man 9 Endless Mode. Like, no.
Well, I mean, David, it does say on the cover, it's The Legend of Zelda Link to the Past includes a new multiplayer adventure, Four Swords. It doesn't say a new mode, and it's called The Legend of Zelda Link to the Past and Four Swords.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
I think it's a different game, technically.
It was eventually...
It's literally the same game, but you can play it as one person.
It was eventually released as a standalone port on the DSiWare, David's favorite medium of all time, as The Legend of Zelda Four Swords Anniversary Edition.
That was different, though, because it included levels based on the original Zelda as well as Link's Awakening, because I downloaded and I played Four Swords the Anniversary Edition.
That doesn't sound like something you would have done, David.
I mean, I will not take the point, but I'm going to be pissed about it.
You're allowed to be pissed about it, because, Johnny, what the fuck, man? Like, this is very cute of you to say, oh, this game reminds me of Zelda.
You know what reminds me of Zelda? Zelda.
Look at that. Oh, Johnny, I couldn't even... Fucking A, man. Are you serious?
That's the greatest impression I've ever heard of myself.
I'm outraged, but for the right reason. The right reason is, Johnny, come on, man.
I'm seeing double here. There's 4 Johnnies.
I'm seeing double here. 8 swords. Fucking, you got to be kidding me with this, Johnny. You really couldn't come up with a game that reminded you of Zelda. Game. Can we go over the things so far that we've mentioned in this episode that could possibly remind you of Zelda?
Sure.
Swords, green outfits, blocks,
top-down perspective,
top-down perspectives, puzzles, princesses, fields,
magic,
music, magic,
triangles.
I'm still just...
And this game has all of that.
Yeah, there's one thing we've not mentioned in all this: games with Zelda.
I'm still reeling from the fact that Johnny's brain went, you know what reminds me of The Legend of Zelda? The Legend of Zelda.
Yeah, man, it seems really obvious. I don't understand why you guys didn't also pick Zelda games. It makes it so much easier.
What I'm disappointed really is the fact that there are 2 big games that are quote-unquote Zelda games that are not mentioned in the Zelda canon anywhere. And to my knowledge, we've used one of them so far.
Oh,
if you were going to land on a fucking fake Zelda game. How did you not land on Faces of Evil for the CDI? How did you end up on Four Swords, man? Like,
honestly, I just had a hard time finding the soundtrack for that one, so I went with this one. Trust me, man. I tried to find the soundtrack for that one.
because I would give you a point on Faces of Evil because it's not a Zelda game. It's called Link Faces of Evil. And yes, it does vaguely remind people of a Zelda game, despite being whatever the fuck it is. But man,
I do want to take this moment to shout out Jaded Gamer in our Discord chat who says the second should have been game over of the night.
uh-oh. What was the first?
Yeah.
I think the first was you for the card battle.
Oh, but that was a self-imposed thing. That was just me realizing I didn't like my pick, and striving to do better. Johnny, it's too late for you to strive for better, man. You fucked up. This was going to be your close? This was going to be the note that we went out on, Johnny?
Yeah, man.
Close this reminds me of Zelda show with an actual Zelda game.
I can't think of a better ending. That's a real cherry on top of the show, isn't it?
It's kind of the shit that this is, it's like the podcast version of why Johnny's not allowed to pick the movie for his friends anymore. Like, they ask you for something and you blow the fucking assignment, man. Oh my goodness. I mean, I do love the idea of the Four Swords. Sadly I never played Four Swords Adventures, but you know what I like most about Four Swords? Different colored outfits.
I was gonna say, is it Purple Link?
Little purple outfit.
I love Purple Link.
Purple is good. Red is good.
This whole thing is definitely peak Nintendo trying to sell you accessories, because you had that GameCube game, and if you could buy the cables to play with your Game Boy Advances, so you could plug the Game Boy Advances into the GameCube. And I still don't know if you have to have the cart to play with the GameCube game, or if like the GameCube game just downloads your Game Boy Advance, or how any of that shit works.
David, can you answer this? Did you ever do this?
No, but I believe you did not require the cart. I think you just needed a Game Boy and a Game Boy to GameCube adapter, but you did require 4 of them.
But
I have heard that if you're able to connect all of that, which people have done at
it's a
like
really fun game, right?
PAX or MagFest or whatever, it's super fun. But yeah, like nobody fucking did this. I have a Game Boy Advance to GameCube connector, and I've never played this.
Wow. Not even single?
No.
Okay, cool. Just making sure, because that feels also like something you would have done. Like just not 4, but 1. Because I think the whole connecting the Game Boy Advance to the GameCube thing made for like some fun early Wii U kind of gameplay. Like you're all controlling your different links, and it's like you can fall in dungeons and pits and get rupees on your little screen that the other guys can't see. Like, and you're popping in and out of the overworld. It sounded really cool.
Yeah, it did.
Just requires entirely too much stuff to do it.
It's just way too much shit, man.
Like it's excessive. I would love to see it come back now, like. Because now you don't need a Game Boy Advance and a bunch of fucking stuff. You can just play online. So like you can just play Four Swords Adventures, and everybody can just see what they're doing on their own screen. Like you don't need the shared screens or the Game Boy adapters. But yeah, I don't know.
I think the Game Boy Advance adapters things, it would have gone better if just like that existed from day one, and there were like way more games that supported it, right? It's a hard sell to buy these stupid cables when there's like, I don't know, like 4 or 5 games that it'll actually work with.
I mean, isn't that the story of like every Nintendo peripheral?
Yeah.
I
was going to say, I know of 3 games that supported it. Wind Waker, Four Swords, and Animal Crossing.
Oh, Animal Crossing. Okay.
Yeah.
Crystal Chronicles.
Maybe that did. I'm not sure, but I know Animal Crossing did, because that's why I got it, because you could visit a little island on your Game Boy Advance and get like exclusive furniture and stuff.
Yeah, and like special fruit, I think.
Sonic Adventure, the GameCube ports supported it for the Cow Garden. I think you could like move your cow to the Game Boy Advance or something.
That makes sense.
Garden?
Yeah, cow, whatever you call those things. I never learned how to pronounce it.
Okay, I was going to say, wait a minute. Like, you know, my not quite fully processing brain thing was like, sorry, is there a level in Sonic called the Cow Garden where you around cow? And then I realized, I'm like, no, you're saying Chow, as I've been made to understand it, but cow. That's
Well, because it's spelled similar to chaos without the S, right? So in my head, it should be K-ow? I don't know. It's a weird word.
But
I always said chow, but I don't know. Like,
Yeah.
it's one of those that could go either way.
Yeah.
I'm realizing I've never heard anybody say it out loud. So I'll go to the cow garden.
I do. I would like to track down a copy of Four Swords, I guess Adventures, because that's a different game.
Yeah.
And play through it, because a lot of the God, this is going to sound so weird and pretentious. A lot of the Four Swords lore I do enjoy, because the Pickery blade from Minish Cap eventually becomes the Four Sword, and that's kind of that connection in the Zelda timeline. Which is why in Minish Cap you can use the Pickery blade to fuse into 4 different links on certain tiles.
Yep. I like that like it seems like cartoon Zelda is its own little timeline. And I kind of wish they would just bring it back, like they had the Wind Waker Phantom Hourglass Spirit Tracks, Minish Cap, Four Swords stuff going on. Like, yeah, make more Toon Link games. I would play them.
I definitely, as much as I love Wind Waker, and I do love Wind Waker, there's something about Toon Link in sprite form that like perfectly encapsulates Zelda to me.
Yeah, it's fucking adorable is what it is. But anyway, you know what's not adorable? John Regan. My goodness.
Can I hear more of that impression of me from earlier? That was amazing.
No, it's like the model, man. Can't be replicated.
That's fine. That's fine, Johnny. I got you. I'm gonna do my John Regan impression now.
Man, Johnny, it's whatever. This, should be the end of the show, but in an effort to land this plane properly, in an effort to uncrash this plane from the mountain, we've got what now I guess we'll call a bonus game, my final game of the night. So Johnny, let's hit that and see if we can just get this fucking legendarily bad pick out, taste out of our mouths. All right, guys. I know you're feeling good after that. So, this game was released for the Sega Genesis and the Sega Saturn. And while the gameplay is largely the same between both games, there are a few differences. Mainly, in the Genesis version, you play as an unnamed character seeking to challenge the titular character. In the Saturn version, you play as the titular character challenging other characters around the country, and the Saturn version includes FMV cutscenes and a brief documentary about the game's titular character. right, guys. I assume everybody's feeling fantastic.
So good.
I had it after the first song.
Good.
Same.
Let's see it. Come on, guys. Come on. Johnny says Zelda D XXX with
Is that a knife stabbed into the balls?
He's
the
holding a
balls got
sword.
stabbed with the knife, but I realized the balls are holding the sword.
Oh, I see.
Correct. David says The Legend of Conquer 64, sadly unreleased, but a great guess. And Jesse says Burger Time, which I agree with philosophically, but no, it's not Burger Time. That's not this game. Breaks my heart, guys. You guys couldn't figure out what
We really don't know our Zelda likes, do we?
Yeah, no, you really don't, man. I thought maybe that maybe that music would kind of put you in a certain mood, put you in a certain setting, make you think about playing a nice game of billiards. Guys, this is Minnesota Fats Pool Legend.
Okay.
Did you just out Johnny?
No.
What are you talking? I pulled up my spreadsheet of games that we use for Game That Tune Gems, aka a spreadsheet of every known game for every system released in the last 30 years. Did a Control F for Legend. I realized that's really what it takes to be like the Legend of Zelda. And I landed on Minnesota Fats Pool Legend for the Sega Genesis and also the Sega Saturn.
So, okay,
Legend. Minnesota.
This is a very brief tangent because there's something that I want to bring up based on what you just said, but you were so upset about our theme of Zelda-like games closing on a Zelda game, but you're fine with it closing on a billiards game?
Yes, a billiards game that is featuring a legend in one Minnesota Fats.
Yeah, I'm fine with this.
Yeah.
Secondly, what I want to bring up is it was released
on their own.
It was released on the Genesis and the Saturn. How big was that upgrade?
Well, the Saturn had FMV.
You might say it was Minnesota Fat. But the real difference, they are largely the same game. It is a top-down billiards game, and the only real difference with Saturn is they added FMV cutscenes and a brief documentary about Minnesota Fats.
That's kind of cool.
It is dope, man. I think it's fucking great. People need to know about Minnesota Fats. This guy, he might be the oldest titular character in the history of video games. Rudolph Minnesota Fats Wanderone Jr. was born January 19th, 1913. Ooh. This game came out in 1995. He was fucking very...
Do you think they came to... Obviously, like, lawyers and stuff had to come to him, and he had to sign something so he'd get money. But do you think he understood that he was going to be in a Sega Genesis game, like a video game?
He understood anything.
Like he's just like,
I doubt he gave a fuck.
You're paying me for what? Sure.
In Japan, this was called Side Pocket. It was just a mere billiards game. In America, they needed something to push that over the top, and they got Minnesota Fats. And so, fun fact, this game came out in 1995. Minnesota Fats died January 15th, 1996. He did not get to enjoy the success of Minnesota Fats Legend for very long.
You got to play it?
I wonder if he was capable of playing it. Do you think Minnesota Fats owned a Genesis or a Saturn?
I imagine
he strikes me as a Saturn player.
I imagine
capable. I thought you meant like he was like bedridden or something.
Well, that too. He was also 82 years old and dying.
Guys, I'm gonna bet that he was like directly involved in the making of this game. Was very hands on. Was like at Sega headquarters every day, overseeing it from start to finish, making sure this met like the top quality that you would expect from his good name.
Those FMV clips, he was really, really getting into the production and the story. Because the game has a story mode in both games. It's story mode. Again, in Genesis, You're an unnamed young man trying to challenge Minnesota Fats. You got to travel around the country, play
It's like
pool,
Link versus Ganon.
play pool against other pool hustlers, and eventually challenge Minnesota Fats. In the Sega Saturn version, you play as Minnesota Fats challenging other pool hustlers around the country with FMV cutscenes of him interacting with them. And the actors in these cutscenes, besides Minnesota Fats, were largely employees of Data East.
They didn't get any other
Okay.
legendary pool players to be in the cutscenes.
They couldn't
What?
get the legendary. Like, I don't know that any other real pool hustlers attached their names to this game.
What kind of shitty pool hustler do you have to be to think you can take down Minnesota Fats?
See, that's
Like-
what I'm saying. Like, he's a goddamn legend, guys.
Like he walks in and he's like, "Who wants to play?" People are gonna be like, "No, you're gonna beat us."
But I mean, like, I get it, being a young, like, cocksure pool player hanging out at the
Hey, man.
bar. You think you got some hot shit, and
But
Minnesota.
this is Minnesota Fats,
Sultan.
though.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, but you don't turn down the chance to try, man. You got to shoot your shot, right? Like, I know
but-
the old
Now-
wireism from
I don't
Omar.
know.
If you
So-
come at the you best not miss. But like, if Minnesota Fats walks in the building, you got to at
Now-
least shoot your shot. You got to come for the king.
I don't know. Now, if it was like Terry Two Rivers, then maybe you go after him.
See,
But
now-
Minnesota Fats is like so good. Maybe more like a Virginia like bootsmith.
Like,
He's
what if
pretty
the Black
good.
Widow walked in the building? You got to play against the Black Widow.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's just because of representing. Just to tell people you played. But
She's
Minnesota Fats,
too,
you're gonna lose
Now,
No.
every time.
how many tunics do you wear in this game?
That's the thing. Minnesota Fats, he's a dapper man. Sadly, they don't, because it's a top-down billiards game, show Minnesota Fats very much. He's on the title screen. He's standing behind the logo. He's holding a billiard stick, a cue, if you will. And other than that, you don't really see Minnesota Fats very much in the game. So is he wearing a tunic? Highly unlikely. He's most likely dressed like he's competing in a billiards tournament on ESPN3.
Okay,
And
how many?
don't wear many tunics on ESPN.
The rack is a triangle too.
That's true. That reminds me of The Legend of Zelda.
Triforce of billiard balls.
The most important thing is that Minnesota Fats himself is a legend, a pool
Yeah,
legend.
How many
I can't
treasures do you
wait.
find?
I think
I
he might be
can't-
one of the great spirits of Hyrule.
He is. He's Raru. He's the spirit of light.
I can't wait to declare the winner and have a theme for the next episode, so I could find the weakest, most tangentially related game to pull for next episode.
I don't see the issue here, man. I didn't
That is
Yeah,
my
that's every
personal
week.
challenge for next week, and I look forward to it.
didn't feel good about my first pick. Felt way better about this pick.
Yes, because God forbid a fantasy adventure game isn't Zelda enough,
It was a card game.
and
Yeah,
a
and-
billiard game is better.
Well, this has Minnesota Fats.
A legend. A legend. Minnesota Fats, David.
Like you don't understand the gravity of this situation.
Yeah, he's just talking shit because he is afraid to prove his worthiness at the pool table. David is one of the few people that if Minnesota Fats walked into the bar and said he's taking on all comers, David would just spin right back around on his stool and not look Minnesota Fats in the eye. You know why, David? Because he would scare the shit out of you. He would show you that you're afraid to see within yourself. That's you got the heart of a champion, David. Minnesota Fats would bring that out in you. And then he would take it, rip it out of your chest, hit it into the corner pocket, take your money off the table, and walk right out of that bar.
Probably go get some nachos.
God, yeah, he would crush a pile of fucking Chicago-style nachos.
They don't call Minnesota Fats for nothing.
They don't call him Minnesota Fats just because he's morbidly obese.
It's because of a fat hog.
It would be really great if in between rounds of pool in this game, there was a test your might mode where you had to crush plates of nachos.
Yes.
Kerrigan in the chat points out that nachos are triangles.
That too.
It's
It's like Wind Waker.
like eating the
Mhm.
Triforce.
Yeah, you got to go and get all the little shards of the Triforce on a big plate of nachos.
All the little nachos.
You got to hustle tingle out of that money. Oh man,
I love how I'm so pissed about how this doesn't relate to the theme, and it wasn't even my fucking theme.
yeah, you have every right to be pissed, David. You put a lot of effort into this theme, and I put twice as much effort in and got twice as much out of it. So that's just how it goes when you're rolling with Minnesota Fats.
God damn it.
I'm so glad he's going to be tagged in this episode. Finally, he's getting the due he deserves.
I'm just glad that we get this funky, smooth ass soundtrack onto the fucking radio now. Like Minnesota Fats Pool Legend is going to be a mainstay of Game Neptune.
That is a sweet soundtrack.
It's so dope, man.
I'm so glad that at last, on episode 287 of this podcast, we're able to tag both Ed Asner and Minnesota Fats.
Oh,
God,
God.
this is a
A
dream
lot of
episode.
people thought for a while there that they were the same person. They're not.
If they don't write us back after this, I don't think they're ever going to write us back.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Johnny
Johnny, there's a slight problem with that.
Here's the thing,
both
Ed
dead.
Asner outlived Minnesota Fats by a good 27 years, but both dead still.
My statement
Oh,
still stands.
Still excited. So yeah, man, Minnesota Fats, what a fucking legend. He's up there in heaven with Ed Asner and Jonah Lamu in the legends section of fucking heaven. It's only 3 men deep.
Is that the rugby guy?
Yeah, he's a fucking
Yeah, I remembered.
He's fucking up there legendarily beasting his way through heaven along with Ed Asner and his fucking sexy drip.
They're all just crushing nachos.
Just sitting there with those heaven nachos.
Yeah, just fucking hustling all of the people in heaven in billiards. Oh God. Because you know why, David? Let me say it again.
He's a legend?
Is a goddamn pool legend. Johnny, let's hit the calculating computer.
I can't humph enough.
Calculating computer activated. Computers. Beeps. Beeps.
What the heck?
Scoring complete. This game's winner is... John Harrington.
Yeah, that's right. You can't stop it, guys.
Hey, that music reminds me of Zelda.
It really reminds me of Zelda too, but it's my wind theme. So, you know what it really reminds me of? Minnesota Fats.
Oh, yeah.
Rest in
Pour
peace.
one out there.
Yeah. Pour out a whole plate of nachos
Yeah.
for the legend. God.
Just pour it all over the pool table and then shoot pool.
Sir,
With the nachos getting everywhere.
hey, I'm just paying tribute to Minnesota Fats.
You're going to have to leave, sir.
It's a hell of a trick shot to hit a fucking corner pocket through a pile of nachos. Oh man, so yeah, man, oh man. You know, I dedicate this win, this triumphant victory. Apparently, I'm the only one that fucking knows Zelda games because I'm the only one that scored points tonight.
Apparently, I'm the only one that knows Zelda games because I'm the only one that chose a billiard game with Minnesota Fats.
Yeah, exactly. Not a billiard game.
Legend.
Billiard game with Minnesota Fats. But yeah, so you know, as the resident Zelda king around here, I dedicate this win to the memory of Ed Asner and Minnesota Fats, and I declare that in honor of Minnesota Fats and no one else, next week's theme. Actually, I'll go ahead and I'll pull the curtain back on that. You know, this theme reminded us of the Legend of Zelda, because it was the Legend of Zelda: Link to the Past 30th anniversary this past week. I'm going to keep that going. Somebody else had a 30th anniversary recently. A fat character. And I'm not talking about
Minnesota Fats?
another fat character. The second most popular fat character in the history of video games. Not Minnesota Fats.
Big the cat. Kirby.
Kirby had a 30th anniversary. He's fat. He's adorable. Some call him the Minnesota Fats of his time.
Literally, no one has ever said that.
He's pop star Fats. That's what I'm going to call him from now on. Wispy Woods Fats. We call him Kirby. And the theme for next week's episode: cute games. There you have it. I wanted to be cute. So.
Is Minnesota Fats cute?
Minnesota Fats is
Very.
adorable, man. Look at that guy. He's such a little scamp. Google some images of Minnesota Fats and tell me that's not just a sweet little old man that you want to hang out and play pool with. But anyway, Minnesota Fats is dead and buried. Kirby is on the rise. The theme next week, in honor of Kirby and Minnesota Fats, cute games. There you have it. It's gonna be good. What a fucking show! I'm glad that the Minnesota Fats pick cast a pall over the end of this show. Yeah, David, I'm going to demand that you take this less seriously.
I'm so mad.
Good God, calm down, sir. Yeah, I wasn't doing a bit. This was, this is, exactly how this show it just came up organically. This is the way it is, man. Embrace the fats. So what a show it's been, man. Thank you, David, for putting up with this, and thank you everybody watching live, putting up with it. We're live every week. We're on Twitch, we're on YouTube, we're on Facebook. Search for Game That Tune. We love you guys watching along live with us. Great crowd tonight. Great chatter in the chat box. We love you guys watching live. Thanks everybody checking us out in podcast form. The show is available in podcast form starting on Tuesday mornings. Check us out, GameThatTune.com, or anywhere you get your podcasts. Rate, subscribe, follow, whatever you got to do to get Game That Tune in your podcast hole. Put it in there and enjoy it. Special shout out to everybody checking out patreon.com/GameThatTune. My goodness, guys, we got a lot of fun going on at patreon.com/GameThatTune. We've got mixtapes, we've got covered up, we've got Game That Tune gems where we take a look and listen back to games from 30, 20, and 10 years ago. We've got our movie commentaries. We just did one the other night for The Running Man, and we had a blast. Literally, a character's head exploded. But, if anybody wants to hang out and watch movies with us, subscribe to patreon.com/GameThatTune. It's the way to do it. We have a lot of fun. And you help us keep the lights on at our 24/7 video game music live stream, radio.gamethattune.com. We super appreciate you guys checking out Patreon. Special shout out to our absurd fans on Patreon: Alex Messenger, Lance Revere, Damian Beckles, Bradford Stevens, Taylor Weiss, Sam L., Mork, Tasty, Grimmery, Phoenix Tier 2121, Unsaddled Zebra, and Akadar, a fantastic group of patrons that we've got at patreon.com/GameThatTune. Go and join them and join us for some fun. Shout out to our requester this week. Jesse took the request. Who made the request?
It was Acre in the Discord.
Acre in the Discord. That's the best place to make your requests, in our Discord server. Join us there, make your requests, chat with us, hang out. We love talking to you guys. We love interacting with you guys. Got a lot of fun stuff going on in Discord. David's posting pornographic cartoons all the time. We got a lot of fun stuff going on in our Discord.
Not all the time.
All the time, David. Don't undersell it. It's I would rate it all the time. Frequent enough that I am promoting it on the show. David's pornography. But yeah, so join us in Discord. That's the best place to make your request. But you can also email us, gamethattune@gmail.com. Or you can come find us on social media. We're on Facebook. But I'm not going to promote the Bird site anymore. We're fully done with that. So if you want to come interact with us on social media, go to GameThatTune.com. GameThatTune.club. That is our new social media server. That's the thing I'm pushing. It's our new non-Twitter social media. Join the Game That Tune Club. GameThatTune.club. And we would love to see you guys there. Make requests. Any requests we get on GameThatTune.club gets immediate priority, just out of sheer you actually join this, incredulousness. So please do join us at GameThatTune.club. And yeah, we love you guys. We're going out with my bonus tunes. Of course, I got to send it home with more music from Minnesota Fats Pool legend. How else could I send us home? David's gone. So we're going
There's a movie where Jackie Gleason plays him.
As Minnesota Fats would say when he's done hustling you, he would say, "Until tomorrow." So from Minnesota Fats Pool legend and composer Shogo Sakai, we've got Until Tomorrow. And we love you guys. Until next week, peace out, everybody. Uh, uh, uh. Lost Kingdoms is copyright 2002 From Software. Hyper Light Drifter is copyright 2016 Heart Machine. Unsighted is copyright 2021 Studio Pixel Punk. Tunic is copyright 2022 Finji. The Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past and Four Swords is copyright 2002 Nintendo of America Incorporated. Minnesota Fats Pool Legend is copyright 1995 Data East.